It appears that this poor little Massasauga rattler didn't survive long enough for me to get it to the house and euthanize it humanely, end its suffering. Oh, it is still alive. I was checking for responsiveness and I didn't get any, and I see the tail moving. This one has quite a bit of cranial trauma though, so as to whether it's actually conscious right now or not, I couldn't tell you, but generally how I'll check for responsiveness in one that isn't outwardly showing that it's still alive, I'll just kind of pinch it like this, kind of try to get some movement out of it. And just a minute ago, before I turned the camera on, I wasn't getting any of that. And this poor little thing, it was having a rough enough time out there. It looks like its skin's all tinted everywhere I pinch it, so this poor thing was dehydrated anyway. It's really rough out there right now with this drought, and I'd say this was a male, I'm pretty sure, based on the tail length. So I had run out of lidocaine just a couple of months ago. I used the last bit of lidocaine I had on when I did a tail amputation on a bearded dragon. I gave him the last of the lidocaine stocks I had here, and I was pretty much out of anything local anesthesia wise, which is that was my first go-to item, also for not just a local anesthetic for a minor surgical procedure, but for euthanasia also, because you can use it for that. Because if you get too much lidocaine or a similar regional anesthesia like that, either an overdose of it or you receive it intravenously, it can be cardiotoxic. It can shut your heart off and kill you. So, and veterinarians do use that. They're starting to use lidocaine a lot now too, to aid in euthanasia. But I had run out of all my lidocaine, and luckily in the last couple of months I haven't run across anything that I needed to euthanize, so that was good. But just today, as it happens, I got resupplied with some local anesthetic. This one's similar to lidocaine. It's called Vivocaine. It's got two drugs in it. It's bupivacaine and epinephrine. And the epinephrine is synergistic, which means it boosts the effects of the anesthetic. And so I just got this stuff in today, and it's actually, in the literature, it's referred to as it's markedly cardiotoxic. And in comparison to a lot of the other regional anesthetics. So in some cases that would be bad, but in a case like this where I'm going to use it for euthanasia, that actually works to our advantage. What I'm doing here is try to locate the heart of the snake by running my finger down its ventral surface here. And as my finger goes over it, I'll feel the bump, which I'm not feeling now, which happens a lot in these, like I said, in these run-over snakes. They get run over in this area, and then it ruptures the heart. Well, then it's pretty much impossible to locate it from there. I'm pretty sure, though, based on what I'm feeling to be some trauma here, and a little bit of a cavity there. This is probably the area where his heart is. And essentially what I do after I locate the area, I'll generally place my finger just ventral, which would be rearward towards the rear of where I believe the heart is. Kind of hold the scale down, and it makes it a lot easier to see it beating underneath the scale just in front of my finger. And then what I'll do is just insert the needle underneath the scale towards the direction into the heart, and inject the anesthesia there. And additionally, what I will also do is inject some into the base of the skull, or if I can penetrate the skull, I'll go right through the top into the brain, through most in lizards mostly. It's much easier to insert the needle into the parietal gland on top of their head, which is their a light sensory organ they use to, it's like a little sensor that assists them in finding ultraviolet light for them to bask in, and that's actually pretty useful. It's pretty easy to penetrate the skull going through that gland. It's pretty much a straight shot into the brain, and I can administer the anesthetic there into the brain too. In snakes and turtles, that's a lot harder to do, so I will just generally go right in the side, right along the into the base of the skull, as far in as I can, and I'll give them a bit of it on either side, kind of as close to the spine as I can. It's kind of like a epidural, if you will, at the base of the skull. And yep, he was run over there. I can see now his skin is split right open right there. So he did definitely suffer a ruptured heart, and that's why I couldn't find it. So there was nothing else I could do for him. Most of the time with snakes, there's really not much I can do for him except for bring him back here and give him something to ease their suffering. They've just got too many vital organs all down the length of their body, so generally any time they're run over, unless it's the very end of their tail, they're generally not going to survive.